for stopping by the channel. This is going to be my recap and review for Real Housewives of Miami. This is season 4, I think episode 8 or 9. Let's get into it. It wasn't much. The episode opens up. It's the next day after their night out, after Julia proposed to Adriana. And they are getting ready for Larsa's, like, I guess we would call it like a trunk show, in the sense of like her just showcasing her jewelry and getting people to advertise it. Julia's suffering from a hangover. I told y'all in the last episode, her saying that she was taking shots of olive oil and vodka did not make sense to me. And I was like, of course you would be like. And then the crazy thing is, like, I didn't know Julia had been drinking from 2. They showed it from 2:45 all the way till the next day, like basically the next morning when they got back from the restaurant. And it's like, of course you're suffering from a hangover. Like, you low-key, I think she tried to act like she didn't have alcohol poisoning, but it seemed like she did. So all the women are trying to wake up. You got them running to get Nicole. Mind you, Nicole's an anesthesiologist, and I'm not no slight to her, but like, she seemed kind of frantic. And I guess, like, because I have friends who are in the medical field who are doctors, I just assumed that she would be a lot more calm. And she kind of was, but she kind of wasn't. It kind of threw me off. But then again, I remember she's an anesthesiologist. Like, that is not really her forte. Her forte is making sure that people are sedated but still alive, you know, in between death and in life, and making sure that, like, they're taken care of while they're being operated on. But she helps Julia out. Marisol's being snarky about Nicole grabbing a salad bowl instead of a trash can. But I'm just kind of like, girl, it's either here nor there. Like, if you're not gonna help, shut up. So everyone's like crowding Julia. You got Adriana acting crazy. Supposedly she wanted to give the girl Valium, which I was like, girl, that would have made it worse. They end up calling the paramedics. I noted here in Alexia saying, you know, I call 911 for everything. That is white Latin privilege, because Afro-Latinas, or even people who don't consider themselves Afro-Latinas, but they have darker skin, ain't calling the police for everything. They're not doing that. We're not doing that. Black people are not doing that. So I was just kind of like, okay. But then again, I'm like, do you do that for Frankie? But then I'm like, why are you calling the paramedics or 911 for everything for your son when he's supposed to be like, okay? I don't know. So they call the EMTs. The EMTs get there. They give Julia IVs and she feels better. Probably it was a hangover plus dehydration. Like, you can't drink that much and not eat and not think you were not gonna be on it's the next morning. So it's the next day. I was with Lisa. Like, I'm not about to be all up in her room. Like, the best thing I could do is stay out the way and y'all figure it out. So she's okay. They decide to have Larsa's, like, event. I thought Gertie, like I said, y'all, Gertie is annoying to me, but she is so beautiful. Like, she looks so cute in that white dress. Like, white is her color. Like, she looked cute when she came to the what's it called? To the dinner on the last episode in the white dress. Like, she just looks pretty. Like, she looks beautiful. So she's helping, like, she's doing what she does best. She's a wedding planner. She's showing y'all what she do. She's an event planner, and she's getting Larsa's event together. And I was like, okay, Gertie, do you, boo? Show them girls. So it was nice. Larsa's event went well. Then all of a sudden, things took a turn when they sit down. Like, Adriana wanted to be in the shade, but Lisa also wanted the shade. So when they sat down to eat lunch, there was someone who came up to give, to have an umbrella, and Adriana felt some type of way. And I was with Lisa, like, sis, we both hot. Like, we can share the shade. But Adriana's whole thing was like, girl, I sat down an hour early so I could be sitting in the shade. And then you came over here and you effed up the seating arrangements, and now I'm not in the shade. So then she got upset and she walked away. Honestly, y'all, I feel like Adriana feels some type of way that she wasn't a main cast member and she's just a friend of the show. Like, her and Marisol are just friends of the show. And I feel like she thinks that Lisa, Alexia, and Lisa and Alexia and Larsa feel like they might be better than her because they're main cast members. Because she's always saying things of like, okay, you're the princess, like you're the queen, and it's like, no, like I just think she's feeling insecure that she wasn't slated to be a main cast member and she's just a friend of the show. So they apologize and they move forward after that. And like I said, I was with Lisa because I'm like, girl, calm down. Then it was kind of shady because Larsa got the cover for Harper Bazaar, but it was Harper's Bazaar Vietnam. And this is my thing. I caught the shade and I thought it was shady. But one of my Twitter followers said something and I was just kind of like, he made a good point. He was like, I don't think it's shade. He was like, she was happy. She got a cover. Like, it's still Harper's Bazaar. And I was like, you're right. Like, she still got this cover. Even though it was Harper's Bazaar Vietnam, it's still a full-length cover. Like, something that she could still have and people are still looking at it. So, you know, no shade to Larsa. Do you, boo? So it's the next morning. Julia is better. You know, she seems better. She trying to act like she ain't have alcohol poisoning, but you drinking olive oil and liquor, something in your stomach gonna be messed up. So it's Lisa's birthday, and before the party and the shindig happens and they have dinner, Marisol and Nicole are having a discussion. Like, Nicole wants to talk. And mind you, y'all, people don't like Alexia and Marisol, but I'm cool with it. In this conversation, we didn't see Marisol back down or like backpedal. She stood in it, and Nicole stood in her opinion. Nicole feels like it's Miami. You know, people talk, and I felt like you were trying to bully me and be malicious at the table. And Marisol's thing is like, no, I've been friends with these ladies for 10 years and I know everybody in Miami, and you've been talking you're talking. I know you've been talking trash. You and your husband been talking trash. And then Marisol's like, even if you didn't say something, like, I guess Marisol's whole thing is like, even if these words didn't come out your mouth or like you said something around there, she's like, where there's smoke, there's fire. Which is kind of true because I think both Nicole and Marisol have good points. Nicole is like, no, I owned up to what I did and I told the truth. You said you said the things that I said and you put a negative spin on it. And Marisol's like, no, I said the things that you wanted me to, like, I said the things that you said, but you just tried to sugarcoat it. I'm saying what you're saying. And I kind of was like, both people have good points. I like Marisol. She stood in it. She ain't doubled down or back. Like, she didn't like backpedal. She stood in it. She said, I think, like, I don't give a about, like, you're acting like I care. What I heard is what I heard, and I believe it to be true. Same with Nicole. Nicole is like, no, what you're hearing is hearsay, and if you don't hear it come out my mouth, don't be out here telling people this is what I'm saying. And I feel like both people have points. Like, Nicole has a point. If you didn't hear it come from me directly, don't be saying that I said it. And to Marisol's point, if people keep coming up to me from different factions of life and they're telling me that you're talking about me and it's the same thing about the same, you're saying the same thing and no one's lying, then sis, I'm gonna think you said it. So, but I like the conversation. It didn't end very well because Marisol ended it with, like, you're acting like I give about what you got to say and I really don't, but we're good. And she gets up and leaves. And Nicole kind of was just like, okay. So it's Lisa's birthday. They have a nice dinner. Everyone's shocked because Lisa's on time. Kiki brings up she's mad she didn't have like a summer fling or like a vacation fling. Like, she wanted the Zozo. And she brings up, like, what's your fantasy? Everyone's kind of like, don't really want to talk about that. Like, I don't like talking about that with y'all. But we found out that Larsa might have slept with Michael B. Jordan or Michael Jordan. Like, she said it was an actor. So she said MJ. It could be other people like Marcus Johnson. I don't know. But she said she slept with somebody named MJ. What's it called? Nicole said she attracted to John Mayer. And I was like, ew. The pasty man. Who else? Nicole, Larsa. Oh, Adriana says she fantasizes about Brad Pitt. Julia, I don't think Julia said anything, but Adriana says she fantasizes about him that, like, she just be all hot and bothered. Then the only two people's stories I appreciated was Gertie's and Alexia, because they actually got to almost have their fantasies. So like, well, or had their, so like Gertie had her fantasies. She said her and her husband were in the Bahamas or like somewhere in the Caribbean, and they had sex out in the open, and they said the security guard saw them and she liked it. So then you got Alexia saying that there was a famous actor that she had a crush on since she was little, and she almost had the opportunity to be with him, but she was with Herman, so she didn't do it. But like the fact that she almost got to was good enough for her. And then the night ends with them getting that Australian what's it mean, DJ that they met earlier on, and everyone having a good time dancing, and they're going back home to Miami. And that was it. Honestly, it wasn't much to me. Like, the only thing that was interesting, like, so far, I think everybody, because a lot of people are saying, like, who would you want them to let go of? I don't think anybody should be let go. I think because this is a reboot season, that we should have the same cast for season 5. I think let the girls get their feet wet again, especially the OGs, and let the new girls get their feet wet again for their second season, and then maybe add a new person or take somebody away. But ultimately, I think as a rebooted franchise, they're doing really well. Like, am I like what's like exceptionally entertained? No, but it's a nice watch and it's a fun watch, and like the drama isn't heavy or deep. It's interesting. So like it's okay. So next episode should be interesting. Julia gonna bring up the whole like out of wedlock illegitimate kid, but I'm like, Julia, didn't nobody tell you to have 3 kids with 3 different people? So calm your puss. Calm down, ma'am. But yeah, remember to be bravely authentic, y'all, and drop down in the comments below and let me know your thoughts. And I'm out. Deuces.